Welcome back again to SJG Perspective. Just pumping some videos out tonight because it's New Year's. Happy 2020. Everyone be safe out there. Today I want to touch on a article that I came across that's been out for a while. I just stumbled across it and I thought it was worthy to bring back into our thought process, which, has to do with a law they passed in Chicago that essentially gives illegal immigrants the ability to vote. It's called the Chicago City Key Card. So we're going to jump in and talk about that. But before we do, as I always am going to say in the beginning of these videos, please like and share them out on your social medias. It's the only way I'm going to get any traction and start to get some people noticing this page, because YouTube does not like to recommend us and give us any kind of algorithmic I think I said it right the first time. Algorithmic support. Probably should cut that out, but I'm not going to because it takes too much time. So, and also follow me on Parler, on DLive, and on BitChute at SJG Perspective. And if this is your first time to SJG Perspective and you like what I'm having to say, then please subscribe and don't forget to hit the bell notification. Okay, jumping into my little article here. First, I don't want to start with the fact check because I did want to read up and make sure what I was about ready to say was essentially true. And it is. So I'm going to just jump into it. And then I'll touch what the fact check says on it. But basically, Chicago ID card would be a valid voter identification. It's called the City of Chicago's The Key Card. It says municipal ID cards that Mayor Rahm Emanuel, he's such a good mayor, he's so awesome, is launching for undocumented immigrants and others will be a valid form of identification for people both registering to vote and voting in Chicago, according to a letter aldermen received on Friday. Clerk Anna Valencia, who's heading up the City Key program, cited state election rules to explain why the Chicago Board of Elections commissioner will accept the card. And I quote, "The Illinois election code requires the Board of Elections to accept current valid photo identification cards and other local government documentation that includes an individual's name and address as proof of identity and residency." Valencia's letter reads, in part, "The City Key fits both these requirements." So it fits the requirements for what you need to vote. Moving on. The municipal, I don't like that word, ID is not available to the general public, and this was written back in 2018, so it is now. But Valencia said it will be in the spring. Most aldermen voted in favor of the program, which is viewed in the City Hall circles as a way for Emanuel to boost his standings with the Hispanic voters and immigrants' rights supporters as he preps for a 2019 re-election bid. But a handful of city council members are vehemently opposed to the cards. Northwest Side Alderman Nick Sposato, 38, said he was beyond disappointment Valencia opted to make the cards a valid ID for voting. Sposato pointed out the city is not planning to keep any of the background information applicants provide to establish their home address, so undocumented immigrants aren't afraid federal immigration agents can use the data to track them down. So they've taken away any kind of stigma for illegal immigrants to get these cards because they're going to say, we're not going to keep any of the information you give us to validate who you are. So they're like, okay, you know what I'm saying? I say it's like, we can just, get this card. No problem, I say. "I'm not sure of the validity of this," Posada said. "They may not have citizenship. Voter fraud would be my biggest concern." And far Northwest Side Alderman Anthony Napolitano, who like Sposato represents a ward that's home to lots of city workers, called on Valencia to appear before aldermen to explain why she thinks it's appropriate to use the ID for voting. "This was portrayed to us as a way for people to get basic services," said Napolitano, 41st. "This is exactly what we were concerned about when we raised those concerns with the clerk. I know I have colleagues who would not be on board with this." City Council Latino Caucus Chairman Alderman Gilbert Villegas, I'm terrible with names, said he doesn't foresee the municipal ID leading to widespread fraud. But we don't see it leading to widespread fraud. I mean, yes, you can use it to vote if you want to, but we don't think that illegals here who get this card would use it illegally. I mean, duh, they wouldn't do that. It's breaking the law. It's not changing the state law, and there's nothing stopping someone from getting a fake ID now and going to try to vote. Yeah, there is nothing stopping them from doing that, and they could try to do that, but that's a whole lot more work to go out and get a valid fake ID or an ID that passes muster that's fake. And not many illegals are going to want to go and do that. But if you're just like, hey, we're going to give you a free card that you can vote with. Don't vote if you're not a citizen. That would be breaking the law. Don't do that, says the person to the person who's here illegally, who's already breaking the law. So what in the hell would stop them from breaking that other little bit of the law on the little check sheet where they say, yes, I'm a U.S. citizen, and they have a valid ID that you accept, City of Chicago, for all elections, state to federal, county, state, and federal elections. It is accepted as, a valid ID. What would stop them from doing that? Valencia's letter notes that voters currently are required to prove they are American citizens under the state law. They must simply attest. They must simply attest to their citizenship. Okay, like we just touched on. That's if they're already breaking the law. What's going to stop them to do that? Especially when you're giving them a valid piece of ID that's going to allow them now to do that. Valencia spokeswoman Kate Lafergie Kate Lafergie said the clerk's office consulted with the city elections officials before determining the card's pass muster as one of the many types of identifications that can be used as a voter ID. We want to underscore that if you are undocumented, it is illegal to vote with. It is illegal. It's illegal to vote even with any of the documents accepted as proof of identity or residency under the Illinois election code. It's illegal to vote if you're not a citizen, so don't vote. But we're going to give you a card that legally allows you to vote as long as you tell the truth that you're not illegally here voting. Everything from a debit card, utility bill, or union card, Lafergie said in an email. We want to underscore that if you are an undocumented, it is illegal to vote even with any of the documents accepted as proof of identity or residency under the Illinois election code. Everything from a debit card, utility card, or union bill card, Lafergie said in an email. Valencia has also said the city will make the municipal card appealing to people other than those who have trouble getting state ID cards, such as those in the country illegally, homeless people, and those recently released from prison. But it's still unclear exactly what types of broader benefits the ID will provide. Valencia has said the city will make the municipal card appealing to people other than those who have trouble getting state ID cards, such as those in the country illegally, homeless people, or those recently released from prison. But it's still unclear exactly what types of broader benefits the ID will provide. The city has announced residents will be able to use the ID in places of both Chicago Public Library cards, CTA Ventra Fair cards. Valencia also hopes to be able to announce deals with cultural institutions to allow cardholders to get discounts or other perks. Those have not yet been released. The first 100,000 cards issued this year will be free. It remains to be seen whether the Chicago program approaches that number. While New York issued about 1 million ID New York City cards in 2 years, just 30,000 people received San Francisco ID cards in San Francisco between 2009 and 2017. After the initial giveaway, Chicago cards will cost $10 for adults, $5 for those 17 and younger, and seniors will be able to get the cards for free. A list of the documents the city will accept from people to establish their identities and residencies is long and includes driver's license, state IDs. Applicants will also be able to show expired foreign passports, foreign driver's license, high school or GED diplomas, and dozens of other forms to help establish identity. To prove city residency, applicants will be able to show jury summons, IRS bank form, bank statements, and other so on and so forth. Here's the thing on that. Of course, it's still illegal, and they tell people it's still illegal for you to vote if you're not a citizen, but we're going to give you a card that, as long as you check off you're a citizen, we're going to accept this card for you to vote. If you're here illegally, you shouldn't be able to get any kind of valid ID that is that is accepted as voter ID. I'm not saying you shouldn't get an identification card or whatever else, because I feel like we need to know who you are if you're here illegally. But you shouldn't be given a card that allows you to vote. If you're here illegally, you have no problem doing something illegal, which is saying you're a citizen and able to vote. What is it? They're basically their whole contention is, well, it doesn't allow them to vote. Well, yeah, it does on their honor system, basically, that says as long as you say you're a citizen and you can use this card to vote. Okay, well, they're here illegally. They're already breaking the law. What's going to stop them from breaking the law if you're giving them a card that helps them not break the law, or it makes it easier for them to break the law? Anyway, just a little thought. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for that one, but I don't really care. So anyways, until next time, it's SJG Perspective. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Hit the bell notification. Please, again, like and share this video out. And we will get back together soon. Be safe out there in 2020 and have a good night. And Happy New Year. Until next time, it's SJG Perspective without fear or animus. I will talk to you guys later. Have a good night. Bye.